What's your financial goal?
You want more money? Turn what you know into dough. Start hanging out with the people who have it. You create wealth on your own terms. It is not only your rights, but your duty to build wealth.
You are fiscally fabulous.
It's time to enjoy your legacy.
You're listening to Fiscally Fabulous with Dr. Teresa R. Martin, Esquire, a podcast that aims to provide you with the tools, guidance, and encouragement you need to build your wealth, enjoy your wealth, and leave a lasting legacy. Dr. Martin is an accomplished attorney, speaker, business consultant, and real estate strategist, an all-around self-made success who provides highly sought-after expert consulting in the creation, growth, and maintenance of generational wealth.
Hello, everyone. On behalf of Dr. Teresa R. Martin, Esquire, my name is Chrissy Bardels, and you're listening to Fiscally Fabulous. Well, the holidays are upon us here once again, and while many of us will likely be wishing for that new iPhone, a smart TV, or perhaps a new designer outfit, I would like to encourage everyone to consider an alternative to the traditional Christmas gift exchange. A new gadget from Apple sure does sound appealing, but at the end of the day, such a gift is fleeting. It breaks down after so many years and becomes obsolete. But preparing our children and grandchildren to build real wealth through real estate and smart investing, that can create the gift of a lifetime. If managed properly, this wealth can indeed provide security for a family for generations to come. In this episode, we'll address these key questions. 1. How can we prepare our children and grandchildren to build wealth through real estate? And 2. How can mothers of young children and/or teenagers present investing as a wise alternative to traditional Christmas gift exchanging? Look, I get it. It's hard to get excited about something so intangible and abstract as wealth. This is especially true for children and teens whose worlds often revolve around the latest toy craze and online trends. Admittedly, the Christmas tree won't look nearly as festive without those presents, all gift-wrapped under the tree. After all, you can't gift-wrap a legacy of building wealth and attach a bow on it, like you can a new sweater or a bike. But giving your child the gift of wealth and a lifetime of security doesn't have to be boring. It doesn't have to dampen their Christmas spirit. You can give them this life-changing, extremely important gift and still have their holiday be a festive, exciting experience. And so, we're going to look at some ideas and strategies you can use to make investing your child's future as exciting for them as it is a peace of mind for you. And so, let's begin by tackling that first question. How can we prepare our children and grandchildren to build wealth through real estate? Well, first off, because it usually requires years, decades even, of investing to accumulate substantial wealth, it's a good idea to start early. If you're late jumping onto the investment bandwagon, no worries. The holidays can be a great time to start. But by starting an investment plan for and with your children in mind early on, it gives you and them more time to establish wealth, and allows you more time to bounce back from any unforeseen pitfalls. Like many of us when we were children, your child probably has some sort of piggy bank where he or she puts an allowance aside to save up for that favorite new toy. It's their first step into the world of saving, a stepping stone to investing. And sure, Your child may feel a sense of excitement and even accomplishment once they've saved enough to buy it for themselves. But after they've bought the toy, they likely will have little to no money left. And will have to start saving all over again from scratch. But if you explain to your child that if they invest that money by identifying assets like real estate, they could buy a lot more toys and even pay themselves back, you just might convince them that investing is worth it. Simply put, in order to get your kids on board with investing, they have to want to do it. So, try to frame it in a way that they can relate to, and try to involve them with the process as much as possible. Looking to invest in a vacation rental? That's a great opportunity to expose your child to the process and benefit of real estate investing at an early age. There are so many decisions that go into property investment, from location to color schemes to size and function. It might even be fun to discuss these with your child in words they'll understand. After all, kids love to help and be involved, and it will make them feel good knowing they were a part of a project so important to mom and dad. Now, it's no secret that Dr. Martin is a huge advocate for family wealth, as evidenced by her Enjoy Your Legacy movement. She trusts in pulling cash and other resources to build family wealth in an LLC and invest in real estate and other assets, including startup businesses. One suggestion she makes is you could require relatives to make standard commitments of money or different resources, for example, having every grandchild contribute $50 every month into the LLC. Is $50 too much for your family? How about $30 or even just $20 each month? Let's do some quick math on this here. Let's say, for the sake of argument, you have a child or grandchild who contributes $50 each month into the LLC. And for this scenario, let's say the child in question here is at least 16 years old, so they're of working age. If that child puts $50 a month into the LLC in 1 year, they would have contributed $600. In 10 years, $6,000. 20 years, $12,000. And by the time they reach retirement, they would have contributed upwards of $40,000 or more. And these numbers don't even take into account the annual return on the investment, which, depending on the percentage, can increase these numbers substantially. Then there is the idea of games. Why not turn this notion of investing into a game? Children love games. In fact, many adults do as well. It can frame something that is otherwise foreign to a child into something relatable. Not only are games fun, but they're a great tool for educating children and even ourselves in the ins and outs of managing finances, investing, and building wealth. There are many investing games and online simulations that do a wonderful job of teaching investment basics. This can be a great way for your child to create and manage their own portfolio without putting any money at risk. Remember the game of Monopoly? Monopoly is just one of many options. There are games such as Payday, which puts a fun spin on finances and teaches kids where money goes with a focus on budgeting. There's also Dave Ramsey's Act Your Wage board game, which prompts players to save $1,000 into an emergency fund, budget spending by using the envelope system, paying off debt using the snowball effect with the goal of being the first player to get out of debt and yell, "I'm debt-free." Now, isn't that something we'd all love to be able to say? Now, for those of you who may be unaware, since many of us, especially millennials and younger generations, seldom use cash anymore,
What's that?
the envelope system is a method by which you prioritize your income into separate categories of your household expenses, giving each its own separate envelope. You write the name and average cost per month of the bill on the front of the envelope. Then when you get paid, you put the cash needed to pay the bill into the envelope. Obviously, there are fewer and fewer of us who are paying in cash these days, what with Apple Pay and all. However, if you're someone who has trouble keeping up with your own spending habits, this could be a good solution for you. When we pay with our credit cards, it can easily start to feel like we have more money in the bank than we actually do. Working with cash can sometimes bring us back down to reality of what our financial situation really is. And that's important because without a true grasp of the realities of our financial well-being, we're more likely to overspend, miss one or more monthly payments, and go into debt. Too much debt can derail your life's plans and your family's future too, so it's extremely worth it to get that under control early on. And it's also good practice for children in the very same sense, as it teaches them to work within their means. They can learn about financial responsibility, and by doing so now, when they are young, it won't seem like such a nuisance to them when they get older. Instead, it will already be ingrained in their attitudes about money, leading to better financial choices. In some contrast to Dave Ramsey's board game, there is also the game Charge Large. This game promotes responsible credit card use with, again, the ultimate goal to become debt-free. It aims to teach kids that while the use of credit cards can be simple and a rather easy means of getting what you want, the flip side is that irresponsible use of credit cards can lead to expensive debt and, for some, even financial ruin. A benefit of this game is it doesn't swear off credit cards altogether. While some families may want to forego the use of credit cards completely in an effort to avoid any debt whatsoever, there will come a time when it may prove necessary to have a healthy credit established, such as securing a loan for a house or a car or a new business. Every child can be excited about investing. The trick is presenting the information in a manner that invigorates their interest. The ideal investment for teaching purposes is a stock. An investment stock is a much more interesting investment to a child than an index fund or a bond. Teach your child the basics of investing and enhance their ability to manage their finances later in life. And that brings us to point number 2 of our discussion. How can mothers of young children and/or teenagers present investing as a wise alternative to traditional Christmas gift exchanging? Let's take a quick break, and when we return, we'll continue with our topic of the holiday gift of financial security. Attention small business owners, we want to help you get out of financial distress. Get laser focused on your highest income producing activities. Develop and then apply the fundamentals that build multi-million-dollar businesses. Gain unrestricted access to our results-driven time management program. Get back your time, your life, and your passion for your business. Take advantage of the most dynamic online business learning system, applicable to any size business, and receive these core tools: a customized marketing roadmap, world-class content for business growth, bonus content specifically designed to add immediate cash flow. Visit reiawealthacademy.com to sign up today. Welcome back, everyone. We're talking about financial security and giving the gift of investments and stocks to our children for the holidays. Guess what the super wealthy are secretly giving their youngest heirs this holiday? I'll let you in on a secret of the super wealthy. Those who have access to the best tax planning attorneys and benefit from the recommendations of the top investment advisors in the world. A secret that allows them to pass wealth down from generation to generation. They routinely gift shares of stock to their children and grandchildren. Why? Well, there are tax advantages, of course, but most importantly, the wealthy understand the importance of learning about money early, and owning stock is the best way to launch kids into the world of investing. It's not a new idea, and here's the good news. It's not just for the super rich anymore. So, many of you are probably asking the question, why is a share of stock a great gift idea? Let's face it, learning how to invest and save for one's future comes way too late in most of our lives. It's no secret that Dr. Martin believes direct investment plans, or DRIPs, are the small investor's low-risk secret to building wealth. As such, you've heard her recommend a great service she came across years ago, www.directinvesting.com. Through them, she's been investing commission-free in the DRIPs of some of the best-performing U.S. stocks for years. As a DRIP investor, Dr. Martin understands how much faster wealth grows when you invest directly in America's leading companies by enrolling in their DRIP and contributing commission-free forever. When you're enrolled in a DRIP, every dollar invested buys shares. You completely avoid paying broker commissions and management fees. And when you invest without fees, you can take full advantage of dollar cost averaging, one of the best investment strategies for long-term growth. What you may not realize is that one of the most endearing facets of DRIP investing is the ability to get youth involved in investing at a very early age. And you can affordably do just that by enrolling your child or grandchild and gifting their first share this holiday. Here again, you've heard me stress the importance of starting your child's investment plan at an early age, and here's an example of why that is. Imagine investing $2,500 when a child is 5 years old, and then another $2,500 when he is 6 years old, and turning that $5,000 investment into more than $1 million by the time the child is ready to retire. And you can make those results much more dramatic. Say you were to invest that $2,500 each year until he or she reaches 18 years of age. Your total investment over the 13-year period would be $35,000. However, the investment period would span 60 years. With so much time, you can base your projections on an annual return of 10%. Based on an annual return of 10%, which is the average growth rate of the market in general over the long term, according to Ibbotson Associates, the Chicago-based research firm, and therefore your $35,000 investment could be expected to grow to over $6 million by the time the child retires. Cha-ching! Start your child's investment plan at any age, say 18 instead of 5. And there will be less time to build wealth from the investment unless you're able to be willing to invest at higher amounts. Rather than being able to nurture these investments over a 60-year time span, a late start to investing could mean you'll only be able to cover a 30-year time span instead, for example. Sure, there's still opportunities to build a healthy generational wealth during that time, but why shortchange yourself and your family when you don't have to? But hold on. Let's get real here for a second. Most children aren't concerned about their future at this stage of their lives, and they're especially not interested in a future that's still 20 to 30 years out. So what can we do as parents to make this gift of a stock of an investment into their future more appealing and exciting to them? Well, a good place to start is asking yourself these questions. What does my child love? What companies or brands does my child talk about all the time? What toys or products does my child typically buy? For instance, think about some of the brands your child loves. Maybe they love Disney or Build-A-Bear. You could gift them a stock from a brand or company they are a fan of. And with services like Give a Share, your child could receive an authentic stock certificate, engraved plaque, or even a t-shirt that reads, "I own Disney." How cool would that be? This is a great way to provide something tangible to go along with the primary gift of the investment. Still on the fence? Well, you can always bump the fanfare around it up a notch. So let's say you know your child is a huge fan of Disney films. You know that your child could care less about stocks and investing. So what do? Well, in addition to the gift of stock in Disney, try sweetening the deal. For example, you could gift them a couple of their favorite Disney shows or movies to download for their collection. You could even go so far as to turn it into a Disney-themed Christmas for them with the stock gift, some Disney films to download, a special t-shirt that says "I own Disney," and so on. And this, of course, could work with just about any company or brand product. Point is, gifting your child an investment in his or her future doesn't have to be boring or unceremonial. With a little bit of planning, you can easily turn it into an event. And provided your child isn't too private an individual or camera shy, you could even create a social media event out of it using Facebook or YouTube Live. The possibilities are just about endless. And if we think back to our earlier discussion of having a child put $50 a month into an LLC, where by retirement he or she could have contributed at least $40,000, the possibility to grow that wealth increases. Remember, $50 is only a suggestion. It may be that your family decides the children can afford to contribute even more per month than just $50. Or maybe the child will be able to start putting money away at an earlier age, meaning the amount of wealth that they would accumulate over time could double or triple. And if we add 40 to 60 years of these contributions on top of the investments we've mentioned earlier, your family, your children, and your children's children will have one of the greatest gifts of all, a lifetime of security and possibilities. So, when you go to gift your child this Christmas with a share in stocks and/or investment plan, and they give you less than enthused responses, just remind them that while this gift by itself may not seem to come with all the fanfare and excitement of a traditional Christmas present, you're seeing to it that every Christmas from here on out will be magical for them and future generations to come. Maybe that new game console wasn't under the Christmas tree this year, but by instilling the gift of these financial planning habits, your child will soon come to see that what seemed like a lackluster Christmas this year could mean a lifetime of amazing Christmases and more. And hey, if that still doesn't sell it for them, there's always that ugly sweater Grandma knitted for them, the one they get every year. Thank you for listening, everyone. Be sure to subscribe to this podcast or visit us at www.enjoyyourlegacy.com/Fiscally Fabulous Podcast to learn more. On behalf of Dr. Teresa R. Martin, Esquire, I'm Chrissy Bardels, wishing you happy holidays and reminding you to enjoy your legacy because you are fiscally fabulous.
This has been Fiscally Fabulous with Dr. Teresa R. Martin, Esquire. If you would like to learn more on how you can build generational wealth and leave a lasting legacy, go to www.enjoyyourlegacy.com and be sure to subscribe. Thank you for listening. Until next time.